howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up for that. Well, hokey smokes, it is a brand new day, and this is the second time that I have been doing this. The first time, I got halfway into what I was talking about, and then ADHD wiped my mind clean. Thumbs up for that. I have things written down, but with the positioning of my webcam, I can't tell if I'm properly centered because my monitor is over here. I have to guess and hope. Yay. On here, I have still, I have to look because I keep forgetting because of ADHD and more. It could be the plastic spoon of microplastics in my brain. Hard to say. But I picked up that one medication that I was waiting for. It was partly my fault, of course, because I waited until I was out to refill it, knowing that they had to call my doctor to get it done so. But they did so on Friday. They filled it. And the thing about that is, while they filled it, one refill before 10/31/2026. I was like, oh, okay, year and a half. I get one refill. And the refill that I got was 2 weeks worth. So I need to contact my doctor, see if maybe we can get proper refill meds on that. So it's not like it's something you can abuse. It is basically an ibuprofen replacement. While taking it, you don't take things like ibuprofen. And if you're taking ibuprofen, you don't take something called naproxen, which is an over-the-counter ibuprofen-like med. So it's not really something that you can abuse, so I don't know why I've only gotten enough to last me 2 weeks. It's a major pain relief medication for me. It is a big part of my medication regime, so... regime? Regime is wrong. Regiment? That's the word I was looking for. Thumbs up for that. So... I'm joyous on that front. But then over here as well, I have been really having issues with depression, and I haven't talked about it as much as I've been feeling it. And I've been talking with my therapist about what I think this particular cause of the depressive feelings are. I gotta fix my sleeves here. But I have suffered going homeless. Knocked out a major foundation for my mental image of myself, apparently. Because I had got knocked off my feet, metaphorically, the day I went homeless. Now, I spent 2 months in Port Orchard, if you go back and see, or if you have, and I lived in the homeless veterans place up there. And while I'm not homeless now, while I am living in a place where I have to pay rent, it's private residences, it's also a place for homeless vets. And I get reminded every time I go into the community center or go to pay my rent or just to talk to people or check my chores or see if what news is up, whatever, I'm reminded I'm a homeless vet. And I don't really have a chance to ever have anything big, at least in this area. Washington State's expensive. And I'm not going to move to a red state. So I have to live in places that are unfortunately expensive, largely because of the larger population groups. Blue states and blue cities aren't usually just expensive because they're expensive. It's when you have a lot of people, supply and demand, people need a place to live. Places to live are expensive. So unfortunately, Washington is one of those states that's pretty expensive, and I have been economically priced out of housing. Now, that's not altogether true, or at least it was. Who knows what's going on now with everything that's happening in the United States government right now. Maybe there will be still low-income housing. Maybe there won't. Just as a reminder, if anything ever happens and I do become truly homeless, you will see me vanish, and that's because I will die. I have apnea, and sometimes that's sleep apnea. I stop breathing. When it happens during the daytime and I'm awake, I realize I'm short of breath while I'm just sitting here because I've stopped breathing. And for the next 30 to 60 seconds, I have to pick it up manually. At night when that happens, I just stop breathing. And it's not obstructive. Everything is clear. I just... and my brain forgets to tell my lungs to breathe, and I stop for 30 to 60 seconds. That is a terrible strain on your heart and on your brain. So, oh boy, you cannot plug a sleep apnea machine into a tree or a sidewalk. I will have a heart attack or a stroke fairly quickly. So that's joyous. But yeah, I have not been able to properly, while I have been picking myself up and putting myself together with therapy for this other stuff, this I have not yet figured out how to get balanced from. And I have spent the last year and some living here, and just, I'm off balance still. I don't feel settled up here. So I'm still off center. I'm still all wobbly. I don't know. I'm trying hard to get centered and figured out. And I don't know exactly why my brain considers me still homeless, aside from the fact that everything that I've said. But this is what I figure. Now, it could be anything else, but my therapist has been pretty impressed with my work over the years that we have done. There are people that will put in the work, and there are people that don't. I always was closer to the middle, either side, but I have been just shooting into the doing heavy work for the therapy and my mental health side. He has been very impressed both with the amount of work I've been able to put into it and the insights that I've had, because they seem to have worked. I've put myself back together pretty good, but there's still this issue, and it came up, well, just last October 1st, not the one just behind us, but a year and some odd months back. That was the day that I lost the house I was living in at the time. I mean, I and some people were renting, but I already knew that things were going to change, because for the last year, my housemates didn't live there. They lived somewhere else. They had a dog, and you could not have a pet at the house we were renting. And unfortunately, after many years of having a dog, they actually had the dog bark and make noise when the owners were there. Now, the previous owner that had had it, this older guy, was a really nice, mellow fellow. But his son and his girlfriend took over, and they were anything but mellow. So they had to move out because they weren't going to get rid of their dog. And when I say move out, they didn't actually move out. They just started staying somewhere else. No, they didn't pick up any of their stuff except for some clothing and the like. And then I was living there alone, paying all the rent. Now, I've mentioned before, I said I was paying for the internet, and it was 300 and some odd bucks. I do not know if I fully explained. We got our internet through Comcast, And it was part of a bundle package where we had landline, internet, and a fairly comprehensive package for the television. And since it was all one thing, when my housemates for the last 3 months that they were there said, we're not going to pay for the internet anymore, I had to pay for everything. I couldn't just take the bundles out because I wouldn't have been able to. I have tried and it would not have worked. Plus, way too expensive. So I had to pick up the whole thing and carry it until the end. So that was fun. Of course, I don't know if anyone was even watching at that point, but yeah, it was joyous. Checking the time, because there is one last thing that I wanted to talk about. And I want to talk about it in a way that I'm not going to be penalized. Because I mentioned before that I have a food problem. Either I eat way too much or nothing at all. I don't get a good proper middle. It is, and I gotta talk around this because YouTube took away an entire video of mine, just everything gone, video removed, because I was talking about the food eating issue using its full name, and they said, oh, you were glorifying this stuff. We're going to take this video out. And they did. I wasn't glorifying a thing. I was talking frankly about the problems that I have. So yeah, I got to dance around the subject for fear that YouTube will take the video away. But I have problems with visits from Ms. Hanorexia. And yeah, try and spell that out. Well, not spell it out, but say it in a way that it's one word that's a problem with food. That's an issue that I have. Either I have it or I fight my way out of it, at which point I slam into the other side. The last time that I really, it sank its claws in hard while I was physically ill. I had gotten up to 325 pounds and I got a bug where I could not eat I could drink, I had to drink a lot over a large period of time because I was even vomiting up that stuff. About half the weight I lost was due to that. Ms. Hanorexia had dug in her claws sharp and hard, though, and the other half of the weight I lost was purely because of that. I went from 325 pounds down to 160. When I'm at 160, I look like I belong in some sort of camp somewhere. Like I have been starved of food along with I and my other prisoners there. So it was not a healthy state that I was in. But that train was chugging hard. It was racing along, burning fuel, and it wasn't slowing down for nothing. But I managed to fight my way to the exit, and I threw myself off the train. It was not easy. I do not want Ms. Hanorexia's claws in me. That said, I picked up a lot of weight without really thinking about or realizing it while I've had decreased mobility from my bone spurs on my right heel, because I had enforced not immobility, but I couldn't really, it was hard to even walk to the community center. The community center is like a quarter of a block away. I could barely get around. With all that enforced immobility, I picked up a lot of weight. I need to get rid of that weight. I didn't eat anything yesterday evening. It is 12:14. I haven't eaten anything yet. I know that juice fasting is good. So, I mean, good as in it works. Only juices are not really great for you because they're just sugar, plant sugar, and you don't get a ton of anything else in it past sugar. I mean, sure, there's vitamins and there's pulp if you get the kind with pulp, stuff like that. But juices generally are sugar. So I don't want this train to go thundering down the same track with me not able to stop it. But I am climbed halfway over the railing. I'm pulling the, I've forgotten the name of the guy that does the train, the engineer's cap over my head. And I'm preparing to ride the train for at least a little while. Will YouTube keep this up? I don't know. It's not a good idea. But I'm 62 and I've begun to develop, as many older people do, cardiac issues with my at least semi-blocked blood vessel in my heart that we are monitoring. I don't need to be fat like I am. Hey, call to action. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that would be very, very cool. Definitely a thumbs up for that. Making sure, of course, to share only with people that you think would like watching an old man yammer on about very personal self issues and other inane things in incomprehensible fashions. Usually inane because of the incomprehensible fashion in which they are developed. That's fashion twice, so I know I messed up what I was saying. Hopefully you understood. If you are a patron, thumbs up and thank you. You are beautiful and awesome. Thank you so very, very much. It is appreciated. For everybody that has left me a comment, you too are beautiful and awesome. Thumbs up and thank you so very, very much. I read every comment that I can, and I thumbs up every comment that YouTube lets me. It is appreciated. I answer as many as I can as well, which is not as many as I'd like, but I do try. So thumbs up on that. Don't worry. I'm not going to climb fully onto the train. I've got food here. I'm going to be not climbing onto it, but I am severely curtailing my caloric intake because right now I have been eating way too much. Yesterday or the day before, I had eaten an entire big container of yogurt. 2/3 of that container is 2,000 calories. I ate the entire thing. That is a full day's worth of calories I took in one meal. I think I can afford to cut down. I'm not going to stop entirely. So hopefully YouTube is not going to remove this video. If YouTube is, then I will of course re-edit and re-upload. Thumbs up for that. Anyway though, I am going to edit, render, upload. My back is killing me. I don't know what or why, but my back is... I mean, I know what and why. I've got back injuries and chronic pain issues, but I did something that's hurting on top of that, so joy. But I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to render, edit, upload, and hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done while I take care of myself for the rest of the day playing video games and hopefully other stuff. So I hope that I hope people have watched, and of those people that watched, I hope nobody just automatically unsubscribed and then left. And I hope that if you are watching, you're not worrying too much. I'm going to be okay. I promise you that. Mostly because I'm too terrified to jump fully on that train. Very healthy terror, I think. So if you have watched this far, thumbs up and thank you. You are beautiful and awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. And yes, indeed, I will see you on the flip side. I plan on being around for as long as I can make myself be here. You know, if I'm hit by a meteor, there's not a whole lot I can do. Or smacked by a car, or a building falls on me. There's not a lot I can do about that. But of the things that I can do, I am actively trying to make my life last longer. So that's good. Anyway, you take care. I'm going to use my left hand to reach over here and turn this off. So I got the mouse pointer over the stop taking video button, and I'm going to press that instead of just talking about it. Thumbs up. You take care, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Or later. I don't know when I'll talk to you. At the very latest, I'll talk to you tomorrow. But at the very earliest, it would be if you clicked another video.